Hi, I hope you're all okay. I just wanted to do just a really brief video just to introduce you to Alfaparf's latest colour launch, which is the new Colorwear. This is Alfaparf's new tone-on-tone demi-permanent colour. So for those of you that are familiar with the previous Colorwear that we did, there's been a couple of changes. Alfaparf have completely reformulated the colours, so I think you'll be quite impressed, and I feel confident that you'll really like the changes that have been made. So first things first, I just wanted to show you the shade guide and just introduce you to the colours a little bit. So what Alfaparf have done, they've completely reworked all the packaging, all the imagery and everything, so it's all completely brand new. The boxes themselves, I just need to tell you about that first. All the boxes are all made from recyclable cardboard, and they are recyclable themselves, and the inner tubes as well are all recyclable. Alfaparf as a company are really keen to look at greener options and reduce their carbon footprint as a company. So this is just one of the ways that they're moving forward and looking at different ways that they can improve themselves. So shade guide wise, all the colours are all, the tones and everything are all familiar. They're all exactly the same as what you know already. The tone, the numbering system and everything is exactly the same, but the small little change you'll notice is Alfaparf have made the new Colorwear. It corresponds perfectly with the permanent line that we do, so the Evolution and the Precious Nature colour, it all corresponds perfectly with that. So it just means that in the everything is just completely exactly the same. So now that we're moving out of lockdown and we've got more challenging regrowth clients now, it means that the permanent colour that you choose for the roots, you can choose the Colorwear for the mids and the ends just to refresh, and the colour will be completely uniform all the way through. So shade guide wise, there's been a couple of changes. They've discontinued just a couple of shades really, but they've added some really amazing colours. So one of those in particular is something that I'm really keen to show you, which is 712. We used to do an 812, and that was the darkest shade that Alfaparf did, but now they've given us a 712, which will just be amazing. So it's a depth of a 7, as you know. It's predominantly blue ash with a tiny little bit of violet ash, so it'd be really lovely for those smudge roots that we do at the backwashes, that kind of like ashy root that everybody's after. It'll be perfect for that. There's been a couple of different things, 92, a few new shades and things that I think will be really popular, but I wanted to draw your attention just so there's a couple of things on the back page that I just wanted to show you. In particular, 1042, which is just beautiful. There's a little bit of a story behind this one. About 2 years ago, Alfaparf ran an event for us in Valencia in Spain, and it was a sort of international conference thing and a presentation and a really gala dinner, beautiful occasion. But part of the points for the show was, prior to it, they ran a competition called Next Generation, and it was open to colourists all over the world, and what they needed to do was come up with their own bespoke, their own cocktail colour. There was very strict sort of guidelines, and you had to be very, the mixing ratios, you had to be down to the gram, everything was very sort of like tightly chained. So this is one of the colours. So what happened was, people ran, our different sort of distributors ran different events in each country, and then the winners from each one of the events in each country went to the national final in Valencia, presented their model on stage, and then this was the winner. So I think it was a lady from Romania that came up with this colour. So part of her prize was that her bespoke cocktail colour would be put into production, manufactured through Alfaparf. So that's a little bit of a legacy for her on there, and there's a little bit of story, which I think is beautiful. But one thing I think will be amazing when we start looking at clients out of lockdown is something called clear and gloss. Again, for those of you that used Colorwear before, we always did have clear and gloss, but there wasn't a swatch for it on the shade guide. So I, for one, am guilty of I sort of forgotten about it, and I forgot how amazing it is. So you can do two things with it. So you can use it with any other shade on the shade guide just to pastelise the tone a little bit. But one thing which I think will be really great is you can provide a clear and gloss service for clients in the salon. So for those clients almost like me, his hair is lifted up quite a bit in the sunshine because I've been outside quite a lot. I like how it's lifted. I like the lightness that I've got now. I like the multi-tonal, sun-kissed kind of effect. So I don't really want to go and put a different colour on my hair, but I just need a little bit of shine, a little bit of gloss really. So this is perfect. So I can do a clear and gloss service. It's a bit unique because it's almost like an acid. On the pH scale it's more on the acid line, so it closes all the cuticle down, it locks the colours in, it just gives you that really glass-like shine that every client's after really. So that's just a little bit about the shade guide. So in the introductory packages, I think you'll get a shade guide. You'll also get a cute little mini shade guide, which I think are just gorgeous. Little mini one, and also on the back of this one and the large one is the colour wheel, and it just tells you where all the shades are all sit on the colour wheel and the tone values as well. So you've got that. Just a little bit about the new formulation with the new colourwear. So our previous colour line, previous colourwear, the alkaline agent that they use, and every colour needs an alkaline agent, ammonia or something like that, that kind of is a catalyst to make the colour, that swells open the cuticle to make the colour work. So in our previous line we used Mia as the alkaline agent. That's been completely changed now, and Alfaparf have come, they're using the main alkaline agent is an ingredient called arginine. So arginine is quite a clever little ingredient really. It is found naturally, it's in the protein that's found naturally in the hair. So Alfaparf wanted to use with that whole natural kind of concept that they were going with. So they've extracted arginine. It's found in plant sugars. So they've extracted the plant sugars and just condensed that down a little bit. So it's used during the colouring process as their alkaline agent to make the colour work, but also it kind of like protects the hair during colouring. And one of the things that is quite unique about it is it almost has, the best way I can describe it is it's like a laminating effect on the cuticle. So it closes down all the cuticle and locks all that colour in, so that not only do you get the beautiful light reflection so the hair looks super healthy, but it also locks that colour in, so you'll get the longevity of the colour will be much better than anything we've ever seen before. Because of the arginine, they've taken out, and they don't need any other, some companies put silicones and things like that in the products, which isn't a bad thing, but Alfaparf don't need to do that anymore because the arginine just does it all on its own. So it's a beautiful ingredient in the hair. They've also added different kind of oils into the hair. So you've got things like sunflower oil, green tea oil, camellia seed oil, and again they've fermented these oils down so they're really a sort of softer, more condensed version of the oils, so you get the benefits of the oil. So you get the hydration, the nutrients, the antioxidant properties of these oils. So they kind of go into the hair, but they don't weigh the hair down because they're a condensed version of the oils. That you can't feel them on the hair. So you get all the benefits, but without any weighing the hair down or anything like that. So as I mentioned earlier, it's a vegan friendly colour. The consistency is a nicer consistency to work with because it's more of a gel consistency. It's also free from, so it's free from Mia, ammonia, PPD. There's no alcohol in it, no silicones as I mentioned before because of the arginine. So it's a really nice sort of as natural a colour to work with, and natural ingredients really. The mixing ratio, when you get all different bits and pieces with your deals, but you get a nice chart that you can use, you can pin up in your dispensary wall in the salon. There's a little image there of all the box and the tubes, so you can see all that fits in the same, a little kind of paper shade guide. But I just wanted to show you this. So again, those of you who have used the colourwear before, we had a 5 vol and a 15 vol. Alfaparf has scrapped the 15 vol now, so we still had the 5 vol that we're all familiar with, and we can do the same things that we were doing before with the 5 vol, but they've also changed the colour and they've enhanced it a little bit, so the opportunities are really flexible now because you can use 10 vol and 20 vol with the colour now. So it just gives you limitless opportunities to what you can do in the salon with different types of mixing ratios and different levels of lift. So you've got the 3 developers that go with it, and you've got 3 different mixing ratios as well that you can use. So you can mix the colour 1-to-1, which will give you more grey coverage. All the colours cover grey hair. You don't just have to put base with them anymore or anything. That all the colours will cover grey hair. So you've got the 10 vol, you can mix that 1-to-1. The 10 volt. You've got a mixing ratio of 1-to-1. You've got a mixing ratio of 1-to-2, which is the one that we're all familiar with, which is a more general mix that we use for our toners. And you've also got, which I think is really exciting, is a 1-to-3 mix. So this will give you more of a pastel pastalizing effect on the hair. So for those clients that you've maybe done a set of foils for and it's lifted up and you've got the lightness, you just want to just adjust the tone a little bit, the 1 to 3 mix will be a really nice one, because it will just put like a glaze over the top of the hair and just give you a really nice tone. So that gives you different options. The development time as well does depend on the mixing ratio that you use. Again, it's all in our little, you've got a little chart here which is really easy to follow. So if you mix your colour 1 to 1, the development time is about 30 to 40 minutes. If you mix it 1 to 2, it's 20 to 25 minutes. If you mix it 1 to 3, it's 10 to 15 minutes. I just want to draw your attention to one thing on here, because Alfaparf have completely reworked the colour. You can't treat this new colourwear the same as what you were treating the old colourwear, because a dye molecule, because of the new arginine, develops in a completely different way. So it's almost like comparing evolution to precious nature colour. They've got to stand alone differently. So the dye molecule does process differently, so we just need to treat it in a different way. This is why they've put this little image on here for you. So this is before. This is during. So this is using one of the new shades, which is 10.02. So it's a natural violet. So this is the colour while it's on the hair. That's the colour afterwards. But I just need you to sort of notice that if I was in the salon and I looked across at the backwash and saw 10.02, I think I'd a little bit of a fright, but just trust the process. You know that it will, the development, as it's developing, because of all the dyes in it, it's neutralising the warmth that's in the hair. So just be aware, it will possibly, there's a chance that we'll look like that while it's developing. So don't panic, trust the process, it'll be fine. So that's pretty much it really. Anything, I'll put little add-ons and little videos as we're going along, and obviously you can still contact me. I'll be, all our education is now going to be a little bit more virtual, so if you need me, you can FaceTime me, Zoom, Skype, anything like that. You can still contact me by phone in the traditional way, but I'll be available a lot more to speak to you. So if you don't have my number, if you contact your sales manager, and they'll be able to pass on my details. Okay, I'll speak to you soon. Thank you.